Hello and welcome to this week's Rotherham Advertisers Sports Chat podcast. I'm joined around the table by Miller's correspondent David Beddows.
Hello.
And columnist Charlie Graves.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for taking the time to join me, gentlemen. We're looking back at Rotherham's 1-1 draw on the road at Charlton on Saturday. Dave, it was a good point and the first away point of the season.
It was. It was important, wasn't it? Particularly after the week, the moves I had last week with the speculation and so on regarding Steve Evans. I thought it, showed a lot of character, and it was a result to stabilise things, which is what the teams needed.
Charlie, it's not that first win, but it's small steps, isn't it? It's baby steps. The performance was better, the defending was better, it was more assured, and that gives a little bit of hope to Millers fans, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was a great result to go there. They got a 100% home record until Saturday. Great result. Lee Campbell seems to have steadied the ship at the back, but let's not get carried away. We still haven't won, have we? We've got Brighton tomorrow. Little steps, but we need to start winning, don't we?
It's right, isn't it, what Charlie says? It's a good point, but it's something to build on. It's not the end product, is it, Dave?
No, it isn't. Results is all, isn't it? Thankfully there's one or two still struggling at the bottom. Huddersfield went down again. They're still without a win. You want to keep the teams a bit above within arm's reach, don't you? But the longer this run goes on without a win, the more tense everyone comes. But I'm sure not a lot of Rotherham fans will be expecting to do it tomorrow night. That is a big ask down at Brighton.
It is a big ask, Charlie. Obviously Brighton flying early on in the season, up at that top end of the Championship season and Championship table, and looking really good as well, playing some good football. Is it a case another draw would be a good result for Rotherham tomorrow night?
Well, I suppose anything away from home is good, isn't it? So yeah, a point would be nice, a win would be even better. But you see, if we get beaten again, then all the old feelings will be coming back, won't they? So we're in danger of getting a bit detached, aren't we? A bit isolated if we don't do something soon. Okay, they're a top team, but you've got to do things against teams like that, haven't you? You
have, and Dave, how important do you feel it is to get these two away games almost out of the way? Two away games, long distance travels in a short period of time, although we know that Rotherham are staying down south in between the Charlton and the Brighton fixture. But then to get back to the New York Stadium on Saturday with the game against Cardiff, and to sort of get back here with hopefully a couple of points in the bag, Steve Evans not going to Peterborough, and let the good times roll again.
Well, this is it. The football fixture list could have been kinder, couldn't it? Throwing 2 long trips in like this for supporters as well as players within space of 4 days. And on top of that, we've got second in the league on Saturday, as are at the moment, Cardiff. So it's a tricky little run. 2 draws out of these away games. I think a lot of Rotherham supporters, if they were to get a draw tomorrow, would just snatch your hand off for that. Back in the last week. Yeah, it's about just teeing it up for Saturday.
Lee Camp proved on Saturday, didn't he, the Rotherham new goalkeeper, just what a big impact a steady, experienced pair of hands can make in the goal. Dave, do you expect to see more of that as the season progresses and he becomes more comfortable with his new colleagues?
Well, it'd be nice to, wouldn't it? We've needed a steady pair of hands, haven't we, for a while, since Semi Martinez were back into last season. He were a big figure when we got over the line end of last season. No one's quite held it down since. Roos and Colin got him briefly. Our improvement has got to start at the back, and the goalkeeper is a huge part of that. And you think the more he plays with an established back four, hopefully, the better he'll get.
Yeah, but he can only do so much, can't he? And with the best player in the world, if they're still playing rubbish in front of him, it doesn't matter who they've got in. They could have 16 goalkeepers there. So it's a question of the defence playing well as well to back him up. If not, could have me there, couldn't they?
And there were signs of that. Young Farron Rawson coming in for his second debut, scoring his first championship goal. Obviously a lot of plus points for him as well. But Danny Collins alongside him looked a lot more steady and a lot more assured. The two fullbacks as well, they also looked more assured. Dave, how important is it to keep that unit together now?
It is. It needs to pick a unit and stick to it. It's been hard to keep the unit as it is because we've been so porous at the back, haven't we?
And injuries as well to Mattock and Buxton.
Yeah, that's true. Rawson is very highly thought of at Derby, so he's got potential, still young. Collins has done okay up to yet. I think he's suffered with the rest of the team, so hopefully with an established centre-half partner who's playing well, it'll bring him on. Well, that sounds straight because Collins is the experienced one, isn't he? But it's about two centre-halves playing well, and the sooner we can bed them full-back positions in, the better.
Charlie, just to discuss the attacking side of the game ever so briefly, Rotherham's two new loan signings from Norwich that they brought in just before the international break. Odejida Afoe started on the left of midfield, and Tony Andreu started just behind Johnson Clark-Harris on Saturday. Andreu in particular had a great chance with a header from 5 yards out that the Charlton goalkeeper managed to stop. Goal scoring has been a little bit of a problem for Rotherham when Matt Derbyshire's not been informed. How much can these two lads help?
Well, I still think it is, and assuming they've got all the paperwork right and they can keep playing, should be okay. But we don't want to still keep chopping and changing all the time. I think I agree with Dave, and that you've got to get a fairly settled setup. You can't keep changing all the time. But I mean, apart from the players being settled, I think we need the club ought to be making it better all round by just putting to bed any suggestion that Evans might be going to Peterborough. I mean, the fact is, the suggestions are that he isn't, but I don't think he's actually come out and said, I'm not interested and I'm not going. So I think, just to keep things really settled, the club or Evans or somebody ought to come out and say, this is the situation, no, he's not coming, he's here for the duration, and get on with it.
Well, Dave, he has slipped down the pecking order, hasn't he, in the odds. Graham Wesley and I believe Brian McDermott going above him as we speak today. But after that game at Charlton, he was very forthright with the media, saying we'll discuss it further after Tuesday's game against Brighton. I mean, that kind of brings it back up, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's a little chink in the door there, isn't there? I mean, we've got two tough away games in the space of 4 days. I mean, we need no distractions. I think he recognises that, and if we do, we need some clarity, don't we? After tomorrow night.
That's all we're after. Right, gentlemen, we'll end that there. Thank you very much for your time today, and thank you very much for listening. Remember, you're listening on the Rotherham Advertiser's free digital magazine, The Match, out every Monday lunchtime. Make sure you pick up your copy of The Advertiser on Friday to see the full match report, stats and action from tomorrow night's fixture away at Brighton. Thank you very much for listening.